Hey Blazers, it's me, Daria, and I'm back again with another tutorial. Now, if you have been a subscriber or a follower of my Instagram or my YouTube, you may have noticed that I've done a few tutorials in the past. I think I did like a roundhouse kick tutorial, a side kick tutorial, I did like some stretches for a split. So now what we're gonna do today is the axe kick tutorial. Axe kick is probably in my top maybe 5 or 7 favorite kicks. I like doing it mostly when I'm sparring. So like when you want a quick point and you're within like close range to someone, you can sort of pick your leg up and like give them a quick tap on the head. I still like doing it for board breaking and close range sparring. So with that in mind, if this is something you're interested in, please stay tuned for the rest of the tutorial, and please feel free to subscribe and check out my Instagram. It's Daria_B_G, and let's do it. Okay, so a few things to keep in mind for this particular tutorial. Number one is your fighting stance. So I go into a little bit of detail about that in my first tutorial, my first kicking tutorial at least. I believe that's the roundhouse kick. So as a quick refresher, the fighting stance is pretty much how you prepare to throw a punch or a kick. So usually for me, I do a lot of kicking tutorials. So that means I'm gonna have my leg back, and you could kick off your back or your front leg, but for the purposes of what I've shown so far, usually it's the back leg. And then you have your hands in front to protect your face. And of course, you want to make sure that your hands are like this and not like this, because you don't want to break your fingers. Again, more detail on that is in the roundhouse kick video. Number two is that unlike the roundhouse kick tutorial, I know I keep referencing that, we are not using the top of our foot or our shin when we're doing this technique. What I mean by that is today we're focusing mostly on the heel as we are taking our leg and then dropping it down, essentially. This is good for breaking, this is good for sparring, but at no point are we going to be using our shin or the top of our foot. Occasionally, if you're sparring and you want to like reach someone, you might sort of take your foot and bend it a little bit so you can get that like last minute point. But besides that, it's mostly heel. And that kind of goes into the last thing I wanted to say, which is that normally when I'm doing regular tutorials for my YouTube channel, I should move this out of the way. Normally, if I'm just doing like a kicking tutorial or something like that, and it's just like me, I don't have any other guests with me at the time. So unlike doing Blazes Basics, where I will teach someone a skill like in person, or they'll teach me a skill in person, my tutorials don't really involve other people, partly because not many people want to sign up to potentially get like punched or kicked on accident by like holding a target and then I like bam. So with that in mind, right, you're not gonna catch like my sister on the YouTube channel holding a target because she knows that it it might hurt her arm. So with that being said, let's begin the actual tutorial. Unlike the side kick and the roundhouse kick tutorial, the axe kick does not really require much of a chambering step. So by that, I mean there's no point at which you have to like do like a 1 and then a 2 or something like that. It's pretty much all one movement. So if you haven't picked up already on it, an axe kick for the most part, right? I guess again you have to go out. Sorry. So for the axe kick, for the most part, right, I would say it is coming from the outside in. So if I'm going to be sparring you, let's say we're going toe to toe, right, and I want to try to get a point, right, I'm gonna take my back leg here, bring it up, and go like that in front. It's not an inside outside kick, so it's not coming in this way, it's coming from the outside in. Although, right, when you're in the heat of sparring or doing whatever, I guess you could do whatever you want as long as you get that point. But for the purposes of this tutorial, make sure you're bringing it from the outside to the inside. The key to the axe kick is to visualize something in front of you. Maybe it's someone, maybe it's a target, and what you want to do is act like you're slapping it down or slamming it down, sort of like you were taking an axe and like cutting a piece of wood. So let's say someone was right here. Let's say we're about right here. I want to take my foot, we'll take my leg up, swing it up, and bring it right down here. So it's going to look something like this. And you want to make sure you actually add a little bit of power there, especially if you're trying to break a board, and especially if it's multiple boards. So again, oh, my hip's cracked. Just like that. Finally, a few pieces of advice that I just want to offer when it comes to this kick, but really any kind of kicking technique. You want to maintain control of your attack at all times. By that, I mean, do not just throw your leg out like a rag doll, right? You're gonna tear something, it's gonna be uncomfortable, you're gonna sprain something, you're not gonna like it, right? So don't just throw your leg out just because you can. Do not use, especially if you're using full force, do not use full force to just like throw your leg up and then like do like this, because I promise you, you're gonna feel that tension and it's not gonna feel good at all. A good way to practice this, I would say, would be using targets like this. So normally if someone's doing an axe kick, they would hold the target sort of like this, and then coming in like this way, you would like hit the target down like that. Some people hold it like this, like I would be holding it like this for you. Some people hold it like this. I guess it really doesn't matter that much, but you definitely want to get your like accuracy down, right? In case you're like sparring, you want to like get somebody. This is about the size of like somebody's head, give or take. So, you know, it's good to practice like that. Don't use it on your siblings. Don't tell anyone that, oh, Daria taught you to do this. No, I didn't teach you how to beat up your siblings. But with that in mind, thank you for watching this tutorial. Stay tuned for what's coming, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please check out my Instagram, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.